Hello, everyone. Tonight, or depending on what the time is for you today, I'd like to talk about should you use tricks to get a girlfriend, or if you're a girl, to get a boyfriend? And how stable that relation will be. Well, many people try to use tricks when they meet each other. They lie about their job, they lie about their education, they lie about their social status, they lie about almost everything. And that simply tells you that that person really doesn't think much about him or herself. That's why he's trying to portray himself or herself as somebody else. That's a very shameful thing to do anyhow. But let me put it this way, to help you answer this question for yourself. How happy will you be if you had gone out and bought a watch, a brand name watch, like let's say Rolex, and you paid good money for it, and you searched a lot and you found what you want, and later on, and you're really happy for a while with it until something happens, and you realize that it wasn't Rolex. It was a fake, but it looks like a Rolex. Has all the emblems and looks and design and all that, but it wasn't Rolex. Even if it was as accurate as a Rolex, you would still be disappointed. And guess what? How far would you have now gone to find that watch, which now you know it wasn't Rolex? If you knew it to begin with, you wouldn't even take a step because you wanted a Rolex. And you were tricked. So now you don't trust the watch, you don't like the watch, you don't trust the person who sold it to you, you're skeptical about everything. And no matter how long you went on thinking it was Rolex and you enjoyed it, now that you know it, which you're bound to know it, a fake Rolex cannot always remain inconspicuous. It will eventually, somehow you will find that. So the people are the same, regardless of how you behave and how you carry yourself and how you trick the girl, or if you're a girl, the boy, and you enter into a relationship on false pretense. Eventually, there's no ifs and buts about it. You will give it away. And even if you don't give it away, the energy, the feeling, because there's something called energy. It doesn't matter what you look like. Your signature is not how you look and how you behave and how you talk. Your real signature, what really introduces you and leaves your mark and leaves your and how you affect people in the society and your friends, is your energy. And eventually, through that energy or through any other way, your opposite your partner, will notice that you are not who you introduced yourself as at the outset, at the beginning. And guess what? Even if you have gold coming out of your mouth, she or he will not trust you anymore. And when the relationship cannot be based on trust, I guess you have nothing. I believe that. And therefore, you may get away with it for a date, which that is another story and another issue, which I don't feel it's right anyhow to trick someone into something, because the whole relationship is supposed to be a consenting relationship. And if you get a date or on false pretense, well, that's not a consent then. The other person did not really give you permission to get to know her or him, because you didn't represent yourself properly and honestly. And it was a different person. It was fake. It was false. So it's wrong morally. It's tricking. It's not honorable. And at the same time, it will be found anyhow, and you lose all credibility. And you shouldn't be thinking about the consequences of things for not doing them. You should be not doing them because they're wrong. And if it's right, you should be doing something that is right because it's right. So therefore, my suggestion to you is don't trick anyone to get a date, because it doesn't last. You need to be yourself in order to build something. Just imagine if the actors were supposed to carry their act and their role into their life once they agree to a contract of making a movie, and that would mean how long can they keep that act going when they finish the set, come out of the set, and the production of the movie is over. And even when they finish that day of filming, when they come home, they're not supposed to be carrying the character with them, right? Forever and ever. It becomes totally unreasonable and impossible to live, because every one of us want to be who we are and advance and progress in who we are, better ourselves, learn things. How can you do all that when you're pretending you're someone else? And how can you pretend? How long can you pretend? So eventually, everything falls apart. You will lose your credibility, but more important, you can never build on anything when it's not you. You're supposed to be you in order to find your match. If you're not you, then the match that is with you is really not your match, because she's the match of who you are pretending to be. Which means when you eventually want to be yourself, but you're going to miss it, you will see that you're with someone that really doesn't match you, because it was matching the other character. See? So have a good time and enjoy your life. Build your relationship on honesty and honor, and be free to be yourself. And if you're not proper, well, then change that. But if you're a good person and proper, don't change that and become some fancy trickster thinking that you may get a date. And a date that really comes to you with the kind of a character you created, well, she doesn't worth much or he doesn't worth much, because they're not really real themselves, because they're not honest with themselves. They're looking for some kind of fictitious thing. Because I bet you that's the kind of change you make in yourself to get a date, because you think they want something superficial. If somebody wants to like somebody superficial, then they themselves are superficial, I think. I'm sure you get the message, and so have a wonderful evening and enjoy, and be who you are. Nobody is better than who you are for you. Talk to you soon.